Game started.
Freeze 2. Okay. From the US. Freeze 2. Let's see. I have played a French. Well, let's go back to the Sicilian. How about? I just played a Sicilian recently too. Okay. Well, we'll see what we get. Maybe I'll play a different line. I've already played D6 though. I'll go back to the classical, I guess. See what he plays against that. So I think the most challenging move here is probably bishop to G5, pinning this knight, prompting E6 or E5. I usually play E6 there, I think. E5 is playable though. Other moves are bishop to C. Okay, bishop to C4 would be the Richter Rouser, but this is going for an English attack. So I switched to kind of a Najdorf setup if they play the bishop to E3 move. This seems to work out okay. If he hops into here, yeah, I can just kick it. It doesn't have a stable home there. So it would have been better just to go directly to B3. So I can do the Sveshnikov thing with B5, threatening B4, forking the knight. So B5, he can't play knight C4. What can he play? He can play knight D5. Or I could just develop here. I think that's maybe the better thing. He can still drop a knight into D5 at any time. That's one of the disadvantages here. Maybe I'll get in bishop E6 at some point and try and take back a little bit of control over D5. Contest it, I guess. You can't really control it. And leave these knights here. They're a little bit awkwardly placed. He's going to have to spend some time to reorganize them anyway. Okay, he's thinking. I also have ideas like knight to G4, I guess. Hitting the bishop. It could just drop back. Oh, he's defending his pawn. Well, maybe he's just developing and preparing to castle like me. So does knight G4 come with any threat? Knight G4, bishop to D2. It just kind of gains a tempo. It doesn't really affect anything unless there's a follow-up. I also have knight B4. He's put both his bishops where I can attack them with knights. So I wonder, knight B4. This bishop isn't the world's best bishop, though. Maybe I should just leave it there. Anyway, I mean, I have a natural development plan with bishop to E6 and rook to C8. He can drop his knight into this square now. I maybe should have thought about that a little. Knight to B6 or bishop to B6 is always annoying. They're coordinating on this square. So that was why knight knight G4 would have been a good move. It chases the bishop off this diagonal. So yeah, I didn't do that well. Okay, what can I do about knight to B6? Anything? Not much. I'll go ahead and play B5 now. Plays knight B6. I'll play rook B8. He can take the bishop or retreat. If he plays bishop to B6, then I will move the queen somewhere. Maybe queen to D2. Queen D7, rather, on the bishop. Because he's going to follow, if he plays bishop B6, it might be with the idea of knight C7, so I have to make sure there's, there's not a fork there. So I shouldn't play something like queen to E8. And if he doesn't put anything on b6, then I'll probably play rook b8 just to prevent something from showing up there. I don't want to take, by the way. This is sort of a positional item. You don't want to take this knight here usually. Sometimes you have to. But he takes back with a pawn, gets this advanced pawn, and this d-pawn. Actually, I'm saying this backwards. Maybe I did want to take. Maybe I did want to take there and force him at a time to take back with the pawn. Yeah, I think I had that backwards. The pawn there protects my d-pawn, which is my weakness. Okay, so maybe that would have been a simpler way to play than what I did here. Okay, now I have knight to... let's develop the bishop first, though. Bishop here. Let's see, is he threatening anything else here? Should have done this check before I moved. Okay, but I'm thinking of rook c8, knight to a5 to c4, and well, I've got a pretty strong outpost here. He does not yet have any pressure on the d-pawn. Maybe I should just play d5. Pawn takes, bishop takes, and he can go after it with the bishop on e4, but then I can trade bishops, and my knight's defending here. My knight's loose here, so I do want to play rook c8 pretty quickly, but maybe maybe it's a good idea to get in this bishop takes move while I can. This advance, rather, the pawn to d5 advance is a good move to get in if you can in this structure. And on my next move I can play rook c8 unless he plays something that forces me to like retake the pawn. But if he leaves it there, I can leave it there as well. I just need to get my rook off that diagonal, I think. Get it onto a more useful file. Okay, what can white play? This knight is still looking not so great. Its only square back into the game is through c2, knight c2. I can't take on e. Okay, so he's just going there. So let's get my rook off the diagonal, defend the knight so it's not loose, and leave things as they are. Maybe now this maneuver knight a5 to c4 is even more interesting, because if he takes, I can take back with a pawn, and he'll be stuck with a kind of a crummy bishop. I guess I have a bad bishop too, so not but maybe I can play bishop g4, trade off the dark squared bishops, and saddle him with a bad bishop. Okay, so he trades. Yeah, I thought at some point it's usually the right thing to do for white to just take that. And now I have an extra pawn in the center, and he has a c-pawn here, and I have to be careful. This is uncomfortable, this pin on the, or potential pin on the bishop. So if I just move the queen out of the way directly, then he gets a tempo move with his bishop, like bishop here, check. King takes, and then rook takes bishop. So that's not so simple. Yeah, what do I do here? I could play knight back to e2, defending the bishop. Knight to e7. And this would allow my queen to move somewhere. So any great tempo move with the bishop, I can just take it, and my bishop is still defended. He can maybe sack on b4. So bishop takes b5. Bishop takes b5, pawn takes b5, knight takes b5. And he's threatening the move c4, winning my pinned bishop. But I have a queen move then. I can move my queen out of the way. And the knight's still holding the bishop. Yeah, I think this holds together. I think it holds together. Yeah, so he plays there directly. Okay, so I have to take with a pawn, I think. Got to maintain the bishop here because I don't want sudden discoveries. But now I have queen to a5, defending the bishop from the side. and unpinning. If he doesn't attack the bishop, then I can just unpin in a variety of ways. Queen c7 is looking the most appealing to me. Yeah, so this does not attack the bishop. The knight is hitting e5. It's hitting these squares. Once again, the sensitive b6 square is kind of annoying. So what do I do about knight b6? Knight b6 attacks the bishop. I want to unpin with the queen. I can't go to these squares because the knight controls it. If I go to c7, he plays bishop b6. I guess a queen can go to c6. If he plays knight to b6, I can move my rook to d8. And now I'm threatening just to take the knight. Bishop takes, queen takes, queen takes. Yeah, so he plays knight to b6. Not a bad move. And then I move my rook out of the way and protect the bishop. So it's doubly protected. His knight is... okay, he decides to just trade it. I could take with the rook or the knight. I like the knight better. Hitting his bishop, his dark squared bishop. And it's still protected, so there's no discovery with his bishop. Ah, there's a hanging pawn here. Yeah, there is a hanging pawn there. He can just grab it. Well, he's playing this pretty well. Well, my only consolation here is he's using up time to think about all this. Yeah, but I don't see anything wrong with just bishop takes a6. Puts a little pressure on my knight. I would probably take his bishop on e3. So he decides to hit my queen first. So queen a5. The bishop is going to hit my queen. I guess that's the point. And then where does he go? I could grab a pawn over here. Not so appealing. Let me just... no, I don't like that either. If I go to... if I go to b7, he can pin me. Pin the knight. That's pretty annoying. How about... yeah, I don't like d7, but how about queen to e7? Maybe over here. I mean, there's basically nothing I can do about this pawn. Rook here to attack it. Say bishop takes pawn, rook here. The bishop is defended, so it doesn't even help. Okay, so what is going on here? I still have maybe bishop to g5 here, skewering the bishop or whatever replaces it and the rook. So knight takes, queen takes, bishop here. Might be annoying. Pawn here. Pawn takes, queen takes, bishop takes. Yeah, maybe that's nothing. Maybe I want to... No, I don't even get to hold on to the pawn, I don't think. Yeah. I would just exchange things off. See, if I play the bishop here first, he could just trade. See, do I have other clever knight moves? This is a good position for the knight normally. I should probably be thinking about other things the knight can do rather than trading it off immediately. Also, let's see, what's not active? This rook over here is not active. Queen was being chased around a bit. Oh, he has, speaking of moves.
White forfeits due to disconnection.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, I guess I'll upload this anyway. I just noticed he has bishop to c5 here. And that would probably be winning. Okay, well, I'll upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.